A comprehensive guide showing you how to do all known side Easter eggs on Reckoning. From having an Aetherella companion, unlocking the most powerful lethal in zombies, multiple free perks, a secret round 100 boss fight, and so much more. We'll start with the first of multiple ways to get a free perk on the Reckoning. If you make your way to Tower 1 Executive Suite, just to the left of the Project Janus logo, look down the staircase towards the floor below, and you should see this Mr. Peaks bunny tucked away in the corner on this roof. One shot, you'll see Mr. Peaks float all the way to the top of the tower, where he'll then be dancing on the top of this banister. If you interact with Mr. Peaks, he's going to fly around the map, spawning in a series of blue hoops that you are going to need to fly through every single one without missing. This side quest involves you using your parachute to fly around the top of Tower 1, making your way through every single hoop without missing all the way to the bottom in Project Janus Reception. If you fly through every single hoop successfully, upon landing, immediately the random perk power-up will spawn. And if you've missed any of the hoops on the way down, you can go back to the top to try again. There is yet another free random perk Easter egg on the Reckoning that can be attempted once you get through a decent chunk of the main Easter egg quest, once you've unlocked the Gorgofex and you've inputted the 4-digit code in the teleporter room. If you head into this room in sub level 10, you'll notice that on the screens there is a message reading boost ready, and you'll also see a series of digits on a screen that all say 0. Normally this Easter egg step involves you activating a red button and then taking out 5 quantum vermin to fill up the souls of a canister. However, this step also activates a mini game where you're trying to get above the score 2000 on one of those digital screens, where here a quantum vermin is worth 200 points and each zombie takedown is worth 10 points. And in order to get the free perk, you need to take down zombies as quickly as possible in the allotted amount of time given before zombie souls no longer go into the orb. And if you go upstairs, we'll be looking for this last set of numbers to be over 2000. On solo, this is near impossible unless you are on a very high round, but in co-op, you get a lot more zombie spawns, which make this a lot easier to complete. And if done correctly and you have a score of over 2000, you will see the random perk power-up will be waiting for you to pick up, giving you another free perk. And if you fail this at any point, you can reattempt it by picking up the orb and going to the next round to restart. This next side Easter egg activates a golden trash can with loot, which can include free perk cans, free ether tools, and free upgrade crystals. Around the map in total are going to be 7 bins that if you interact with have a chance of dropping a random item including perks, pack-a-punch crystals, and ether tools. The first bin can be found just to the left of the rampage inducer in spawn, and the other can be found just behind this wall here, behind the reception desk. 5 more bins can be found in executive suites, with this one in the corner right here, another to the right just behind Juggernog right here, another to the left of Blanchard's door right here, which in this example gave me a free perk can. Another can be found to the left of this ammo box. Another can be found right in the corner here before you open up to the office. And the final one can be found at the back of Director's office in the back of this room here with the Arsenal machine in this corner. The idea of this Easter egg is out of the 7 total bins that you're going to search, 4 of them are going to have loot. And once you've found 4 bins that contain loot, head back to the very beginning of the spawn room and you'll notice that this bin will now be glowing gold. When you interact with the bin, it will reward you with 1500 points, 200 salvage, a score streak, and the chance of a self-revive. It is an amazing Easter egg to kickstart any game of the Reckoning. There is yet another side Easter egg that can kickstart a game of the Reckoning by offering you free ammo mod, a free ether tool, and a free pap crystal. In order to begin this Easter egg, first you need to have activated Pack-a-Punch and make your way back to spawn. Simply stand on this Project Janus logo on the floor and then shoot the symbol on the TV. Your vision will suddenly change to black and white and you'll hear an audible cue of a target spawning somewhere in the room. What you need to do is shoot each target as they appear in quick succession of each other, and you have a useful timer on the TV screen to tell you how many seconds you have before the target disappears and you fail the Easter egg. If you've shot all targets successfully, you'll see that a free ammo mod will spawn on the desk. In order to get the free ether tool and pap crystal, you need to go to the next round and activate this Easter egg again, where you'll now have 2 sets of targets spawning in at a time instead of 1. And if completed successfully, you will get a free ether tool to drop. And for a free pack-a-punch crystal, simply activate this again on the following round, where you'll then have to take out 3 targets at a time, and upon completion, a free pap crystal will spawn. Now, depending on what round you do this determines the rarity and the pap crystal level. If you do this Easter egg after round 20, you'll be given a pap 2 crystal instead of pap 1. And this will also apply applied to the level of Aether tool that you'll be able to get. On the topic of 3 things, here's how to get a free self-revive every single game. Head over to Director's Office and look at this set of pool cues next to the pool table. What you want to do is shoot the numbers 115 across 3 different rows of balls, where you'll shoot 1 off the top shelf, 1 off the bottom shelf, then 5 on the very bottom. And if done correctly, a self-revive kit will spawn on the pool table for you every single game, and also activates a secret Easter egg song. And on the topic of music Easter egg songs, that is just one of 3 music Easter eggs, because around the map we can activate the main music Easter egg song by collecting 3 Mr. Peak's headphones around the map. One set can be found in Mutant Research Lab on the body of this scientist just next to the test chamber with the disciple in. The second set can be found underneath the Forsaken and Dark Entity containment on this body here. And the final set can be found in the director's office. If you crouch down at this cupboard and look inside, you'll see the last pair of headphones there. This is an original song by Kevin Sherwood and Alina Siegman, finally back in Zombies doing some amazing vocals. Definitely recommend listening to this. There is a second Easter egg song that you can activate inside of Project Janus Reception, and the only requisites beforehand is you need to have activated the Pack-a-Punch machine. Come back to spawn and look at these 3 metal detectors going from left to right is 1, 2, and 3, and we need to run through them in a very specific order, being 1, then 3, then 2, then 1, and then 3, then 2, and then repeating that one more time, running through 1, then through 3, then through 2, then through 1 again, and through 3, and then through 2 again. And if done correctly, there will be a white flash on your screen like a nuke, and then you'll get a quote from Toten where he questions where he's heard this music before. That is because this music Easter egg is from the Black Ops 4 Zombies map Tag der Toten, the final song called Samantha's Peace. It features in the ending cutscene for Tag der Toten, where Toten as a child is walking into this new universe, hence how he remembers it. Let's now move on how to get Aetherella on the Reckoning. Firstly, you want to have activated Pack-a-Punch and also acquired the Gorgofex Wonder Weapon. Once you have, make your way into Project Janus Reception, and you want to be looking through this zombie window here, where you want to open your emote wheel and spray paint the door, which will open the bathroom door and reveal an Aetherella toy on the floor. From here, you want to shoot a charge shot of the Gorgofex Wonder Weapon, and you'll have picked up Aetherella, who will now be following you around the map. But she isn't quite powered up yet, so we need to make our way to Tower 2 sub level 10. You'll want to jump into the laser in the middle so that Aetherella will join you and will then be floating in the laser. From here, you want to re-jump into the laser and direct your energy towards the Aetherella toy to dislodge her from the laser, and if done correctly, she will now be following you again, but she will actually be shooting and killing zombies. What's great about this is that she lasts for a good few rounds, and if at any point you want to reactivate Aetherella, all you have to do is jump back into the laser to dislodge the toy again, and you'll be able to reactivate her later on. She will follow you everywhere you go around the map and will take out zombies for a good few rounds, so definitely worth using. Let's now move on to 2 side Easter eggs, with the first part of it getting you up to 3,000 points for free. Around the map, there are going to be 3 different paintings that we're going to need to pick up one at a time and place down on a wall in the director's office. One of these paintings can be found in Project Janus Reception behind this door right here. You'll then want to take to this room in the director's office, where to the left of the arsenal machine is going to be 3 portrait slots where you can place one at a time, giving you a free 500 point drop. Another painting can be found in Tower 2 sub level 10, and it's going to be tucked away in this corner right here, where you're going to need to crouch in order to pick it up. Head back to the director's office and place that on the wall for another 500 points. And the last painting location can be found in front of this teleporter in Tower 2 Android Assembly. It'll be tucked away just behind this yellow hazard sign, which you'll then want to go back to the director's office and place on the wall. And if you manage to do all of these whilst you have a double points active, you will get double the points from each of these portraits, giving you a total of 3,000 points. But this side Easter egg is part of a much bigger side Easter egg to unlock the most powerful lethal in Black Ops 6 Zombies, the Aether Blade. With that previous painting Easter egg step done, you'll then want to craft an RCXD at the buildable bench and make your way to Dark Entity Containment. Head underground underneath the Forsaken and you'll notice in this grate is a hole in the wall just big enough for an RCXD to fit in. So if you drive through, you'll then have a little puzzle where you'll have to drive past a bunch of wires and cables to make your way to the back of the Forsaken chamber, where you'll notice there'll be one purple ethereal crystal, which if you explode the RCXD, you'll notice it will set off a Casimir grenade-like effect where a portal will spawn that will float up to the top of the Forsaken chamber, spawning in a bunch of purple dark ether crystals, which you'll want to destroy. And upon destroying the final crystal, the crystal will drop a safe key that you'll want to pick up. You now want to head to the director's office and use the Mr. Peaks field upgrade on this portrait, which will reveal a hidden safe behind this painting. With that safe key, interact with the safe to open it, and it will reveal a portal which will be spawning in a ton of zombies, including a Disciple HVT. I highly recommend that you are equipped with perks and Pack-a-Punch for this, because it is a tough encounter, especially if you are not prepared. But once that Disciple is taken down, you'll be able to go up to the safe and take out all of its contents, which includes the brand new lethal Aether Blade, as well as 2 brand new secret intels. The Aether Blade is a lethal tomahawk similar to what we saw in Mob of the Dead, and it is able to infinitely kill around 3 to 4 zombies at a time, where it can chain through a horde and take 3 or 4 out. Once it's been thrown, it will take down any immediate zombies, return to you, and after about 3 seconds or so, will be fully recharged, ready to be thrown again. Sadly, only one player in a game can acquire the Aether Blade, but it is a infinite killing weapon and is very, very useful for this map, especially if you're gonna go ahead and go into the boss fight. And on the topic of boss fights, there is a secret side Easter egg where only by achieving round 100 plus on the Reckoning do you activate a hardcore version of the boss fights. Now this first involves you actually getting to round 100 on the Reckoning and then choosing to fight either SAM or Richtofen. In this video, we have gameplay of both being completed, which is just mind-blowing because this is one of the hardest things that you can do in all of Black Ops 6 Zombies, and this is all courtesy of fellow Zombies creator MCZ. Upon entering the boss fight, after round 100, there will be a red misty sky rather than the usual sky. Both boss fights will be significantly harder. In the case of SAM, she will be fully aggravated doing the attacks that she would normally do on her final phase from the very beginning. This means that the spinning attack throwing down tons of energy mines is going to be the most deadly from the immediate get-go in this boss fight. To make the boss fight harder, you also get a ton more zombies spawning in, including normal zombies, parasites, but you also get amalgams, which you don't get in the normal version. Overall, though, the boss fight remains pretty similar to the normal version, and it doesn't seem like SAM has any additional health compared to the normal one. Round 100 Richtofen, however, is a completely different story. First half with Uber Richtofen is the same as the normal version, but you have a ton more of the commando classes spawning than what you would typically have, making a ton more hazards around the map, making it so you have to be extremely mobile at all times in order to not get hit by any energy mines. As you're seeing in this footage, thanks to MZC, who's the only one I've seen to get to round 100 and actually beat both boss fights, which is absolutely incredible. I cannot stress enough how difficult this is when you're seeing all the commando classes following him around at this point, which is just absolutely crazy. But when you get Uber Richtofen's health down, you also have multiple Uber classes spawning in alongside the commando class robots, giving you more opportunity for energy mines to be flung around the arena. But once Richtofen enters the jetpack state, things get even tougher. And by default, this is already a really hard boss. But on round 100, you have super sprinting zombies throughout this that can also free tap you at this high of a round. It is extremely dangerous to leave any room for error in this boss fight, to leave yourself open to being hit by Richtofen or by the zombies or by a combination of both. And when I say that this is a hard boss fight, I genuinely mean it, because MCZ spent over 24 hours trying to beat both of these boss fights, which just demonstrates demonstrates how insanely difficult these are. These are almost borderline impossible to beat unless you're using Ether Shroud or smoke grenades to be hidden from Richtofen during the main parts of the boss fights, and the only way that you can beat round 100 Richtofen. These round 100 boss fights are almost impossible with only the highest skilled players being able to complete them, so massive shout out once again to MZZ for sending me this footage, allowing me to have it here in this video to demonstrate just how hard these boss fights are and to actually show successful completions of both. At the end of this video, please go ahead and check the description to watch the full completion of both of these boss fights live by MZZ. Give him a subscription and go show him some love, because this is an insane amount of skill. Let's now move on to how to activate the Jumpscare Easter Egg on the Reckoning. If you make your way over to Tower 1 Executive Suite facing towards this teleporter to Tower 2 Dark Entity Containment, make your way to the left side of this area and look out of this hole in the fencing, where over in the distance you will see a hill with a picnic blanket sat on top. With a sniper rifle, if you look at this blanket, this will happen. That's right, that is Richtofen's son from the Liberty Falls intro cutscene waving at you whilst he is being burnt alive. Pretty scary stuff. And one of the most random side Easter eggs in the Reckoning allows you to wear a chicken bucket head for the rest of the game. If you make your way over to this room in Executive Suites, on this shelf, you will notice that there is a chicken bucket. And in order to get this bucket down, you're going to need to throw an explosive grenade at it, launching the bucket head onto this countertop, but it's missing some chickens, so we need to pick up chicken. One can be found just to the right of that chicken bucket. Second can be found on the floor here just behind this bin. Third chicken piece can be found under this chair on the back right leg right there. Another can be found to the right of the counter on the floor by this door exit here. Another can be found on the counter to the left of the chicken bucket right here. The last chicken piece can be found here on this chair to the left of the counter. Once you've picked up all of these chicken pieces, interact with the bucket and your character will have a quote where if you go into third person, you will now see that you are wearing a chicken bucket on your head. Similarly to the Crown Easter Egg on Citadel Daymore, this doesn't give you any additional benefits or buffs. It is just a funny visual thing to have for the rest of the game. And some cool trivia is that this chicken bucket actually comes from the chicken shop within the Liberty Falls map. And speaking of Liberty Falls, there is actually a side Easter egg that is exactly the same as it was in Liberty Falls, and that is the vending machine Easter egg. If you make your way over to Tower 2 Android Assembly in front of Klaus, there is a vending machine that once around, you can melee it to get a completely random item. This can be something as useless as grenades or salvage, or something as great as a free perk or a free pack-a-punch crystal. Just like in Liberty Falls, this machine can be meleeed once every single round for the chance of getting some sort of reward from it. And just like Liberty Falls as well, once you purchase the Melee Macchiato perk and melee the machine, you're going to destroy it, but it will give you some salvage and points at least before it's gone. Quite a few of these side Easter eggs you cannot do without getting the Wonder Weapon, which you can get for absolutely free on the Reckoning, and here's a very quick, short and sweet guide. The Mutant Research Lab, there are going to be 2 TV monitors that are going to be playing a static. The first is going to be to the left of Deadshot Daiquiri, and this will always be the first word out of 2 words that you're going to need, with the potential that you only have 1 word in your game. But as you can see, I had the word traitor there, and if I go over to Mutant Research Test Area behind Richtofen's wife and child, there is a second static screen that we're going to wait until it flashes up a word. Once it has done that, to take the starting letter of those 2 words and then look at the periodic table in the map to try and find what the atomic number is to those 2 letters. However, you can take all the guesswork out entirely by using this amazing website that was created by the community that will completely solve this step for you, where all you need to do is put in the starting letter of your 1 or 2 words, and it will tell you exactly what your number is that you'll then input as a 3-digit code in the room above. This will open the bioweapons lab, where you'll then want to stand by this cyst that you can see within the glass, and you need to damage 3 vermin by it so that each vermin gets sucked into the cyst. And then once that's happened, you then want to damage 3 zombies until they get sucked into the cyst, which you'll then be able to pick up and take to the quantum computing lab. And you'll want to stand around 3 different ether plants to drain the flora health of each of them. Once you've done that, you then want to make your way into Dark Entity Containment and interact with this computer computer monitor here to initiate a power surge. Once that's activated, you have a very short time window to run around the map and interact with 3 other power surge initiation monitors before the timer expires. Super easy stuff, and once that's done, it's going to spawn in a Uberklaus. You want to shoot both of the shoulder pads off of the Uberklaus and then lead him onto this electrical floor pad in front of the Forsaken. If done correctly, your screen will flash white and there will be a transformation where the Uberklaus will now become the Forsaken, which you'll then want to take out in both its normal Uber form and then the robot form, and if done correctly, it will drop the Gorgofex Wonder Weapon for you to pick up for absolutely free. Now you have the Wonder Weapon, there are actually 2 upgrades to this Wonder Weapon, are completely optional side quests, but give you a much more powerful upgraded weapon. So let's start off with how to get the Gorgofex N Upgrade. Firstly, head to Executive Suites and interact with this door to talk to Blanchard. From here, head into Quantum Computing Core and pick up this Strauss counter on this desk. Then want to hold out the Strauss counter and travel to Tower 2, where somewhere in the area, there is going to be an area with a ton of radiation, which is going to have an item for us. This is completely random every single game, but for me, I found it under the Forsaken and Dark Entity Containment. Other areas, it can spawn in a zombie window barrier. Wherever it is the strongest, you want to use a charge shot of the Gorgofex, which will then reveal an item for you to pick up called Life Drain Serum. From here, there are going to be a few items around the map that we're going to need to pick up in any random order. Starting first with PC Fan, which can be found in Dark Entity Containment, and you're going to be looking at this box just to the left of the Arsenal machine, where here you'll be able to pick up a PC Fan. You'll then want to head to Tower 1 Quantum Computing, and outside to the right of Speed Cola, behind this box, you'll be able to see these sets of wires which can be found in Quantum Computing Lab behind this box near Speed Cola. Another item can be found in the Bioweapons Lab, and it's this clean hood you can find next to this scientist in the corner right here. Once you have all those items, go ahead, go back to Executive Suite and build the Essence Extractor next to Blanchard's door. Once you're prepped with perks and Pack-a-Punch, interact with the machine to place the life serum in, which will begin a 1-minute 30 lockdown. You'll have to defend the Essence Extractor from zombies as well as Commando Klauses until the timer runs out. Once completed, you'll see Blanchard will have suffered a very, very poor demise, and you'll be able to pick up Blanchard's Life Essence. Carrying his Life Essence will tick your HP down by 3 at a time, and you need to make your way back to the Bioweapons Lab, place his Life Essence in the area where we first picked up the cyst. From here, you need to then place the Gorgofex down, and then you'll be able to craft both to infuse the Life Essence. And after a very long crafting time, you'll be able to pick up the brand new Gorgofex N Upgrade, which is a much more powerful upgrade of the original Gorgofex, but it can now also be Pack-a-Punched up to level 3. So now let's show you how to upgrade and get the Gorgofex C Upgrade. So initially, you need to speak to Blanchard at his door in Executive Suites, just like before. You'll then want to head to Project Janus reception and press this red button on the desk. What that's going to do is spawn a Maintenance Klaus unit that you'll need to defend from zombies whilst he performs something on the desk. Following this, you'll notice that one of the elevators in spawn will now no longer be functioning, and what you'll need to do is take the opposite elevator and go around the map so that you are at the top of the malfunctioned elevator. In my game, that was above the elevator in Tower 1 Quantum Computing, and what you need to do is jump down the elevator shaft, open your parachute, and on the way down, interact with 3 different red panels that you want to turn green. If you miss any of these, all you need to do is just simply go back up and try this again, but if done correctly, you'll be shot back up to the top of the elevator where there will be a Panos orb. Then be going into a ton of zombies that will be electrified, and all you need to do is stand in front of this computer and shoot those zombies with your Gorgofex Wonder Weapon. Once you've shot 5 to 6 zombies, Panos will spawn as a ethereal body, and all you need to do then is give him the Gorgofex Wonder Weapon. He will then infuse his Life Essence into the Gorgofex, and you'll then be able to pick it up, giving you the Gorgofex C Upgrade. This gives it a more blue aesthetic to the energy that it's shooting, and just like before, you will also be able to upgrade this now at the Pack-a-Punch machine. The Wonder Weapon isn't the only thing that you can upgrade on the map, because there is a side Easter egg to upgrade the caster turret traps around the map. In order to upgrade the turret, you don't actually need to kill any zombies with the trap, it's just determined by how many activations of the trap you have done, Or if you've activated this trap 5 different times, there are multiple locations for these traps. Once you've used them enough times, you will get a error memory full upgrade capacity to continue, quote from the PA system, and the zombie should drop a hard drive part. From here, head to quantum computing core and insert the hard drive into the system, where you will have to defend it from zombies attacking. And in this clip, there is only one zombie left, so not very difficult at all. But after a short while, the trap will be upgraded, and you'll notice that the caster turret will go up from being just called a caster turret to 2.0. It will now allow the trap to take down special zombies, and if you go ahead and do 10 trap activations, you'll get another hard drive drop that upon upgrading the machine will allow you to upgrade it to level 3, and then after 15 total trap activations, a third and final hard drive will drop, which will upgrade the trap to level 4, which will give it the brain rot ability when taking down zombies. And a massive thank you to Menobot for the footage of this trap. Now it's fully upgraded. Due to there being so many of these traps around the map, it is very easy to get this done and get this fully upgraded. It's definitely worth it, as it can take down a ton of zombies in the higher rounds. Let's now move on how to get every single power-up for free on the Reckoning. Starting off with how to get a free max armor. From the Project Janus reception spawn area, you want to look out the map and look towards this tank. On the left side of it will be the max armor power-up that if you shoot will spawn a free max armor. For a free full power, make your way to Tower 1 Mutant Research and stand right in front of the Deadshot Daiquiri machine and look up and shoot right here, where if done correctly will spawn a free full power. For a free double points, head to Quantum Computing Core and stand directly in front of this door right here, where if you look in this little box under this vine, you will see the double points, but it has a very, very difficult hitbox, so don't be surprised if you don't get this one straight away. Scoped weapon is definitely recommended because this is near impossible to see otherwise. For a free max ammo, make your way to Tower 2 Android Assembly and in front of this portal over towards Tower 1 Mutant Research, turn left and look up at this scaffolding where on the top you will find the free max ammo. For a free insta-kill, make your way towards Tower 2 Dark Entity Containment, and in this zombie window just to the right of the shaft, if you look up, you will see on the top of the server rack will be the free insta-kill power-up. For a free bonus points, make your way to Tower 1 Executive Suite. In front of the Project Janus symbol, look up and look specifically here on this pylon tower, where if shot correctly will drop the free bonus points. For a free nuke, make your way into Tower 2 sub-level 10, and just underneath Vulture Raid in this fencing on a shelf, you will see the free nuke power-up sitting there waiting for you. Once you've shot all power-ups, the final power-up, the Firesale, will finally be available in this window to the left of the quick revive machine, just tucked away on the floor here in this fire. Once shot, the Firesale will spawn, and that is all 3 power-ups on the Reckoning.